Les Misérables. In 1815, convict Jean Valjean is released on parole by prison guard Javert after serving a 19-year sentence for stealing a loaf of bread and numerous escape attempts. Valjean had displayed tremendous strength and ability to motivate his fellow prisoners to do extraordinary feats in the service of the French nation. Valjean is refused employment and driven out of every town because of his paroled status. He is offered food and shelter by the Bishop of Digne, but Valjean steals his silver during the night. When he is captured by the authorities, the bishop tells them that the silver was given as a gift, securing Valjean's release. Moved by the bishop's grace, Valjean breaks his parole and vows to start a new life under a new identity. In doing so, Valjean violates his permanent parole terms and is under automatic warrant for arrest. 8 years later, Valjean has become a factory owner and mayor of Montreuil-sur-Mer, while Javert has been assigned as his new chief of police. In their initial meeting, Javert recognizes but cannot place his face, but suspects who Valjean is after witnessing him lift a heavy cart to free a trapped man. Meanwhile, Fantine, one of Valjean's workers, is discovered by the other women working there to send money to her illegitimate daughter, Cosette, who lives with the unhonest Thénardier and their daughter Éponine. The foreman, angry that Fantine has spurned his advances, dismisses her for promiscuity. To support her daughter, Fantine sells her hair and teeth and eventually becomes a prostitute. She is arrested by Javert after attacking an abusive customer, but is saved by Valjean, who has her hospitalized and watches over her. Later, Valjean learns that a man believed to be him has been arrested. Finally unable to accept that an innocent man could be condemned in his place, Valjean reveals his identity to the court. He returns to the hospital, where he promises Fantine that he will look after her daughter before she died. Javert arrives to take Valjean into custody, but Valjean pleads for enough time to rescue Cosette. After a brief fight, Valjean jumps into a river to escape. He finds a Thénardier, pays Fantine's debts, and leaves with Cosette, promising to be like a father to her. Valjean and Cosette flee to Paris. 9 years later, there is increasing poverty in Paris. Jean-Maximilien Lamarck, the only government official sympathetic toward the poor, is nearing death. A large group of young revolutionary students, known the ABC, plan a rebellion against the French monarchy. They are Marius Pontmercy and his fellows. Marius lives near the Thénardier and Éponine, fell deeply in love with him, but was merely considered his best friend. When Valjean and Cosette, now a young woman, are out giving alms to the poor, Marius catches a glimpse of Cosette and falls in love with her. The Thénardier also see Valjean and believe that they now have their chance to extract more money from him. Valjean and Thénardier have an argument, and Javert arrives in the street to break it up. Valjean and Cosette slip away before Javert can recognize them. Marius pleads with Éponine to find out where Cosette lives. At the ABC Café, Enjolras is rallying the students when they receive word from Gavroche that Lamarck has died. Éponine leads Marius to Cosette. The two profess their love for one another, while Éponine laments that her secret love for Marius will go unrequited. The Thénardier's gang arrives at Valjean's home to capture him for a reward from Javert. Éponine screams to warn Valjean and Cosette. Thénardier is enraged at Éponine's interference and slaps her. Valjean decides to flee, unaware of Cosette's desire for Marius. Cosette tries to talk him out of it, then asks him questions about her past, and his as well. Valjean refuses to tell her anything. She leaves a note for Marius to tell him why she's leaving. Éponine finds Cosette's letter to Marius, who is heartbroken at losing Cosette. He joins the revolution. Éponine joins too, disguised as a man just to be near Marius. The next day, the students begin their revolt. They throw up barricades all over the city. Javert poses as a rebel in order to spy on them, but he is quickly exposed by street child Gavroche and captured. During the ensuing battle, Eponine saves Marius from blowing up the barricade at the cost of her own life. She gives Marius the letter Cosette wrote and professes her love to him before she dies in his arms. Marius asks Gavroche to deliver the letter for Cosette, and it is instead given to Valjean. Valjean abandons his plans to flee the country and goes to the barricade to protect Marius. After saving Enjolras from a sniper, he is allowed to execute Javert. However, when the two are alone, Valjean frees Javert. Javert leaves, confused by this act of mercy from a criminal whom he holds in low regard. Everyone is killed except Marius, who is saved when Valjean drags his unconscious body into the sewers before the army arrives. Thénardier discovers Marius and Valjean and steals Marius's ring before moving on to scavenge other bodies. Valjean jumps on Thénardier and demands a way out. Thénardier show the way, and Valjean escapes the sewers carrying Marius, but is confronted by Javert. Valjean begs for 1 hour to take Marius to a doctor. Javert refuses and threatens to shoot him if he does not surrender. Valjean ignores him and leaves with Marius. Stunned by Valjean's mercy towards him earlier and his own mercy towards Valjean now, and unable to reconcile the conflict between his civil and moral duties, Javert jumps to his death in the Seine. Marius recovers at his rich grandfather's home without knowing who rescued him from the barricade. He mourns his friends, and Cosette comforts him. Valjean sees that Cosette and Marius are happy together and believes that his presence can only threaten their happiness. He reveals his past to Marius and tells him he must leave to ensure their safety and happiness. Marius vows that he will not tell Cosette that her father is a fugitive. Marius and Cosette marry, although Cosette is sad that Valjean is not with them. The Thénardiers attempt to crash the reception and tell Marius that they saw his father-in-law, Valjean, carrying a murdered corpse through the sewers. They plan to blackmail him to keep it quiet. As proof, Thénardier shows Marius the ring that he stole from the murder victim in the sewers. Recognizing the ring as his own, Marius realizes it was Valjean who saved his life. The Thénardiers are ejected from the wedding, and Marius and Cosette hurry off to find Valjean, who is dying in a local convent. As he perceives Fantine's spirit arriving to take him to heaven, Cosette and Marius rush in to bid him farewell. Valjean hands Cosette a letter of his confession of his past life and joins the spirits of the bishop, Fantine, and the other rebels at the Holy Barricade.